Okay, I think we're live. I think we made it. I think we made it. You should be able to see where you're tuning in from here. It looks like we got people all over the place. Freaking California. So many Californians. Hopefully you guys can see me fine. I got a great episode lined up for you today. I hope you can hear me. If someone could confirm that they can hear me. Mic's on. I can't find. Yeah, we should be fine. I think we're okay. I'm scrolling through these comments here. Where's Bruce Rogue at? I think I'm a full screen right now. Dorn and Lucy Brenton wishing Jane, I think Jane a happy birthday. She should be in here too. Wendy is here. Will you be talking about selling print? Oh, I should have. No one reminded me that. No one reminded me to talk about that. I would have made this whole episode about selling print, but I didn't. I made this about taxes and stuff, which is useful. It's really useful for business owners. So someone's got to remind me. If Zoe's on here, someone's got to remind me to do next week about selling print. I would have really liked to do that. Paul White, fresh off a 10,000 piece 9x12 coming in. Dorn hopes he roasts the card that he's sending. I ain't going to roast that thing. I was going to shout you out, but I didn't make the graphic yet. Dan Johnson is here. I don't even know if you guys can hear me. I got to scroll down to the end comments. Yes, William says that they can hear me, so that's great. Loud and clear. All right. It is a great day, Joshua. It's the first day of spring. The first day. How nice is that? Hey, any of you tech people, I have an Instagram, but I just post my film photos. I'm an avid film photographer, but I don't do business stuff on it. We are going to run some prizes, so I hope that you do, Arc Graphics. Hello, Mitch Tebow, who just sent me an email, and I feel like I'm ignoring you, but I'm not. I promise I'm not. I'm just overloaded with tasks, and I'm trying to just get through them. I promise. Oh, my God. This is so... Okay. I'm just trying to catch up here. What was I going to say? I was going to say something really cool. I need tech help. I need someone to answer my tech question. But Christian Real Estate Solutions says, who do I contact in your office for printing quoting? Sent you an email on Tuesday. Jane or Zoe here should be right on it. I don't know why they missed that. We're on these emails all day. I am too. I mean, between all of us. Reply it again. It's got to be in there. I don't know what happened there. I got a crack in the whip. Deducting the pay. Mike McLean in Kalai, Maine. 5 ads away, but waiting to hear back from few prospects. Yes. It's coming. I can hear you, Robert Sales. Robert Shields got his banners, finally. We had a few hiccups there on that artwork, but we got them. I'm really happy to hear that. Jody Hall is here. Hey, Jody. Lucy Brenton. The map is inaccurate. I don't know. It's what it does. I don't know. Richard is here. Okay. What was I going to say? I was going to say something. Oh, the tech. I posted this in my group, but I just need to be sure. What I want to do is I'm building another set in another room. It's going to be really nice. I'm going to build a really nice another set, but I want to put 2 TVs vertically, okay, next to each other, and I want them as one picture, like a video wall, but it's 2. They're going to be vertical, and I'm just going to display, I don't know, graphics or pictures or something. It's going to be here. I've got the stands for it. I'll buy some TVs. I don't know what size to do yet. I haven't really figured that out, but I bought a computer because someone recommended just a simple laptop, Windows laptop. I bought a laptop, i5 something, 16 gigabyte RAM something. But I have watched a million YouTube videos of people making video walls that are similar to this, and there's like huge like the controllers, the adapters to extend that across one thing is like not easy. Like I've seen so many videos of people like I thought I could just use a regular splitter and there's problems. So I got to be mindful of it flickering. I got to be mindful if it's going to look like crap. But if anyone has some real advice that you know, don't say, well, I think this should work. If you know what'll work, please let me know because I want to get this up and running. Basically, I just want 2 monitors right back here that I can display a picture that's moving. You think of like a news broadcast kind of, and you can display stuff up there in the background, and it's just on there. If that makes sense. Dorn did post that. You did post that splitter, and I'm going to buy it and try it, but I watch so many videos and people were like, yeah, I bought this and that did not work. And they end up having to buy like these $200 controllers or something, but I don't know what controller or something to buy. Is it really just going to be a splitter? Because I've watched these videos of people making these like fake windows where they put 3 monitors together and make a scene that essentially looks like a window. And there was all sorts of problems with the rotation, with the extending the screen across them all, with the connectors. And I kind of remember them having a lot of trouble with just the regular splitters. Like you can't do it with a splitter. You're saying I can. I'm going to try it. I just want to be sure. Jane says it just uses a splitter, but everything I'm reading says it's not. So we'll try it. Hopefully it just works fine. I mean, I'm just trying to run background images and stuff on it. You need a lot of tech for those. That'll be a whole build. All right, so why are you saying that? But everyone else is saying you just get the simple laptop, you throw it on extend, and get a splitter. That's what I thought it was going to be like. But watching these videos, this is a lot more issues than I think. Plus, I have to probably make sure the refresh rate is matching with the frame rate of the screen, so we don't see refreshing. There's got to be. I don't know what I like Tony Robbins, but I don't know what he does. Want to do some. Drippy says, congrats on everyone making 9x12s. We're going to do a lot of shout outs today. Robert Perry says, finally on the live, working towards my first 9x12. Let me just send, if you don't mind, I just want to send an email. I can't. It'll take too long. It'll suck up freaking 10 minutes of time. I just want to send an email out telling people I'm live, but I never have the time. I just hired another person, so a secretary, so I can probably offload some of that stuff to them. I might. I don't know. Well, I haven't actually hired them. I think I've hired them. I'm not sure. Totally. Whatever. I just need some help. Freaking everyone's taxed out here. You might want to use gaming monitors, not TVs, Dorn said. Why? Do I really need to? Is there going to be am I going to regret buying TVs? Laptop with 2, yeah, not easy. I looked at that and there wasn't. And I don't necessarily want to buy a $2,000 laptop just to run 2 monitors. So they don't come with 2 HDMI ports, unfortunately, that I could see. Sarah's here. Appreciate you, Sarah. E-Rock is here. Oh, wait. Who's saying exclusive? Brian. A fresh off 10,000 9x12s. About to set up the first USPS drop-off. Do I drop it off the day before I want it to go out? Yes. Day before. If you wanted to be really, really sure, you could call or stop in that post office and say, hey, I'm really trying to get these out on this date. When should I bring them in? Almost all post offices will get them out the next day. But there's times if you go real early, they may get some of them out that day. They may have a heavy load and it might be 2 days. You really should talk to that postal clerk. They'll know. You'll also be across many different carriers. So one route might deliver the next day while the other route might deliver that same day. The other route might deliver a day later. Jane says she uses a splitter with her monitor using laptop. Interesting. Okay. I mean, I for what it's worth, though, I'm also rotating the screens and extending the display. So I don't know if a splitter, it would be great if that works. I mean, I would love to see that work. I want to hear from Josh, though, too, because he seems to know a little bit more about that. I'm trying to get the right stuff. Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. I'll shout you out in a second here. It's to Gert. High refresh rates on the gaming monitors. But okay. So maybe I wonder what size. I have to measure it. Might only need 40 inches. I don't know. I want to put 2. I was thinking about 3, but I'll take up too much space. But I'm going to put like 2 here and have them right in the background vertically. Kenitra is here. Great to see you. Ooh, Joshua Polche just got a library card for the A to Z database. Let's do a contest real quick before we get into the Oh, look at where everyone's from. Oh, we got a couple of UKers. No one in those mid upper left midwestern states. I'm not sure what those are called. The states that we don't think about. Oh, I can see the names. Let's see. Hopefully you guys can see this. Let's see who wins. I like this. There's not that many people. Silver won. Nice job, Silver. What are you winning, Silver? We're going to talk about taxes today and business deductions and stuff. It's kind of a boring topic, but it's very important. You're going to learn a lot, guys, and I'm going to need your help too. But you're going to learn a ton on this. And then I'm going to shout out a bunch of this week's successful marketers. Supersonic marketers. Silver, you're going supersonic. Nice job. I hate how I have to keep refreshing it or something. Because I didn't get rid of them. That's why. One more winner here. Who's winning? See, that's cool when you can see the names. Richard's address. Nice, Richards. You deserve that. You've been following me for a long time. What'd you win, Richard? Oh, I can't. No, not that. We just want to spin it. Then I'm going to do the shout-outs. You are winning the 9x12 Masterclass installment. You can have any installment of the Masterclass. Just email Zoe@printingforsupercheap.com. Brian says, thank you. The postcards look great. Yeah, no problem. I am happy to get those things out to you fast. And I'm so proud of you for getting that card out. Okay. Let me do some shout outs here, okay? Where is this? I got to find it. I can do this way. That's Joshua Polche's comment. Freaking can't remember how to do any of this. It's so hard. All right, here's our. Do we see this? Do you guys see this? Yeah, we got Porter Crumpy. Got my man Porter Crumpy with a 10,000 piece. This is like I think his third one. It's one of the most popular podcast interviews I've had. Great job, Porter, over there in Ohio. 20 or how old's he? No, he's not even 20. He's like 16. He's 16 years old. Youngest 9x12er. Michael asks, I'll throw that as I'll get that answered after. Dorn says our side host deductible. Dorn says a 42-inch gaming monitors. That'll have to be what I look at. I'm just starring a couple of these comments to get to after. Ronnie said, LOL, the states that we don't think about. Yeah, that's what those are. Okay, Mike McLean said I run a karaoke service as well. Splitter and cheap laptop should be fine. Okay, maybe. I bought there was Staples had some pretty good laptop on sale for $279 or $379 or something. I know we did this one early. Silver got the win in there. Kais Ayub is here. Nice to see you. Oh, Travis commented. Hang on, I'm starring your comment, Travis, so I can see it after. Desiree Thomas is here. She wanted to win. Fresh off a 9x12 as well. George Propus is here. Yeah, J5 has some good stuff. Someone told me that too. Get stuff by J5. Christian Real Estate says first time they can see their name. I know. Isn't that nice? Ronnie, I tried. Desiree, I tried. We'll see what happens later in the show. I'm starring some comments. Mario said, thanks for my baby gift. Anytime, Mario, anytime. Wait, what does Richard say? I won. It's a major award. I'm going to print out a certificate and put it next to my leg lamp. He said he's going to print it out and put it next to his leg lamp. You deserve it. Send Zoe email. It's ZOE at printingforsupercheap.com. She should be in here. Hopefully she'll write her email in there. The Candace just watched the lives to be able to enter the giveaway. Desiree says her son is 12, going to be 13, going to start taking him door to door. That's a great idea. Yeah, Porter Crumpy is back. He never left. He is he's impressive. Bruce Rogat said. Okay, what else? Who else we got here? This is this week's. We got Johnny and Patrice Winchester down in Fort Myers, Florida. With a 6x11. You'll see the little proof lines because I just screenshot it from the proof. I have to put these together quick. Shout out to Zoe for helping me get these together a little faster than normal. Man, I wish I had sent an email. If I had sent an email, we'd have people all over the place here, but I was never able to tell anyone I was going live. Johnny and Patrice Winchester, great job on that 5,000 piece shared postcard. Then we got Alex, no picture, but he said it was fine to put he's a good looking guy. He didn't want to put his picture. He's humble, a humble man. Alex Arenas in Woodland Hills, California with I like that color. It's got that nice like salmon color on it. Great job. Florida. Oh, on my way to an interview. Good luck, Desiree. You got this. You got this, girl. You'll have to go back and see your shout out in a little bit. Oh, Zoe's here. She's here. So we got Jane here. We got Zoe here. Leanne's daughter's having kidney stones. She's 16. That was the year I had my first kidney stone. It's not fun. So hopefully Leanne's daughter's all good. Florida, Dorn said. Desiree, hopefully you see this. Desiree was just off, and she sold a solo mailer too. So things are taking off for her. That's great. Over in Rosenberg, Texas. I would assume it's Rosenberg, but maybe it's Rosenberg. I would assume it's Rosenberg though. Nice job. I like how it's got the Rosenberg Taste Tour. How can you not like a card like that? Look at that. You got the tacos. That's amazing. And you know those tacos are good being down in Texas. I want that card up here. Les Mark says, I think your email should go out Wednesday, not 5 minutes. Couldn't even get an email today. Couldn't do it. No time. Isn't that terrible? Can't even send an email. Can't even send one email. Someday I'll get my act together. Peyton Fuller is here. Hopefully live. I told him that I was going to be live here in a little bit at 1. Peyton is in Austin, Texas. Did this for his church. No profit. Did it to promote his church. It's a shared postcard. He's got this shared, I don't know. He's 21. Doing it to help out his church. So I thought that was pretty cool. Got the QR codes that take you to different. It's like the Choose Your Own Adventure books. It's that concept. He wouldn't know what those are, but some of you would. Remember those, the Choose Your Own Adventures? It takes in the path that you want to go. Very cool. Down in Austin, Texas. Eat that good barbecue down there. Love to see 21-year-old doing these things. Amazing. We got Jesus Lopez in the Shenandoah Valley. I think of what's that song? Mountain Mama. John Denver. Jesus and his beautiful family. Can you guys see? I'm blocking his family. Shame on me. Blocking his beautiful family there. Jesus, great job with the 10,000 piece Shenandoah Valley. We have it's Shenandoah, I think. We have Shenandoah, but this is Shenandoah. It's missing the N, the AN that we have here. Trips me up. A lot of Virginia. A lot of cards in Virginia lately. Beautiful family. Look at that. Nice job, Jesus and family. Got Kyle and Emily Switzer. And Kyle said, make sure you shout out my wife, Emily, or girlfriend. I'm not sure. I think it's wife. She did all the ads from scratch. So I'm making sure to shout out Emily. She's just as important here. Kyle and Emily Switzer in Dyer, Indiana. Nice job, guys. The country roads take me home. D Pope is here. There you go. I said it right. Okay, Rosenberg. Nice. Lucy said our 12-year-old daughter loves to bake. A local bakery said they will rent their commercial kitchen to her so that she can start her own pastry brand. That's incredible. Ronnie likes the church concept. I think there's a lot of opportunity for religious, church. I mean, shared postcards. There's postcards in general, QR codes. Huge amount of opportunity that could be done. Candace says she loves seeing the Candace everyone's cards. Waiting to see yours on here. Waiting to see yours. They don't close the state of Florida. I'm starring mystical dragonflies comment. So I don't lose that, and I'll get to these stars after. Travis says nice looking cards. I know you sent me some tech advice here. I'll get to that in a second. Michelle is shouting out Desiree. Oh, Sugarland. That's got some money too. I know that. I've done some mailers in Sugarland. They pay a lot of money. Second card here. Daniel and Danielle Burton in Fort Worth, Texas. Second one out there. Nice job. Sure that's Texas? Roanoke, isn't that Virginia? Must be a Texas too. I'm blaming Zoe on that. If that's yeah, they're Texas. Great job. I love to see the couples put these out. Don Foy, he's in here. Semi-neighbor here, Buffalo, only a few hours away from Buffalo. I like that card. It's got the Go Buffalo. That's really nice. Got the kids on there on a 10,000 piece 9x12. New York has got like a Syracuse going, Rochester. There's one in the Finger Lakes, Buffalo. I don't think there's an Albany right now. And a few downstate and Long Island. I don't think about those parts of the state. Oh, Don went to school in Seneca Falls. Nice. Beautiful town. I like the Finger Lakes. We're looking at a house in the Finger Lakes maybe. Gina Brooks in Knox, Pennsylvania. Nice job, Gina. And partner with a 10,000 piece in Pennsylvania. Freaking fitness gurus here. Making me look bad on here. Stealing the spotlight. Looking great, guys. Great job, Gina. Paul White, who's live in the chat right now. Huge shout out with 10,000 postcards this week. Judy plus 6 says hi. Hi, Judy. Bree Novak is working on her second card in Columbia County. Columbia County, isn't that where freaking Liberty and stuff is? Man, some of them towns. There's a dry town down there called Loch Sheldrake that used to be dry. I don't know if it still is. Couldn't buy alcohol in there. Already on a second card there. Great job, Paul White in Brentwood, New Hampshire. Cole Carpenter. I was hoping he was in here. Cole and his partner, I don't know her name, but Cole Carpenter in Jerseyville, Illinois. Nice job, guys. Bunch of youngins in here. Who else we got? Matt McGowan on his second card. Second one. Nice job there. The local buzz. I like he's got the St. Patty's Day theme on there. The local buzz. Over in Indiana. Hopefully he's near Judy's Pancakes. That's where I got to go. Or I think she's in Illinois. Galesburg. Paul White. There. Yep. He's there. He saw it. Look, on the big screen. Where are you? Where are you, Paul? The comments are delayed. Where did I skip? Where I skip past you? There you are. Where are you? Right there. Nice job, Paul and family. Oh, we got Clint Anthony, too. Did I miss one? Did I miss another one? No, we got Matt McGowan. Clint Anthony over there in Texas. Nice job with his family there. With a beautiful 10,000 piece 9x12. Oh, Cole's here. Cole's there. He's live right now. Live in effect. Nice job. Cole Carpenter. Clint Anthony. We got Bree Novak, who is here with that dog. What's that, a little pit? A little pit bull? The Appalachia Spotlight, who's originally from up here my way in upstate New York, but found herself over in the Appalachians. Nice looking car. Looks very Appalachia. Barks and Bubbles. Oh, they got the cowboy boots. Got the cowboy boots ad. You get $25 off that. Nice job, Bree, who's already on her second card, she said. Nice job. Wait, I don't know why I got Cole's thing still up in there. Oh, hey, Jesus is here. Let's see. Okay, he didn't see. He said he just got here. Let's make sure that we get. Where are you, Jesus and family? Right there. Right there. Jesus with his beautiful family. I was making sure I'm not covering them up. Look at that. Got them two kiddos. Huge shout out to Jesus in Virginia. Just getting it done, says my dad's family is from Utica. I think I got a message from you earlier. I saw that. That's amazing. That's incredible. Utica. That's very cool. Who else we got? I know we got some more. Cole McGowan, Clint Anthony, Bree Novak, Tiffany Wood. Sorry for the picture. I had to blow it up, and it was with a sunset and stuff. But when you background extract it gets a little pixelated. Tiffany Wood and family, great job. You got two little ones over there that I'm kind of hogging up the landscape with my picture. Great job over there in Missouri. Tiffany and family. Nice job. I'm putting stars on Appalachia. Is it Appalachia? I always thought it was Appalachia. It's Appalachia, isn't it? It's not Appalachia. You're tricking me. You'd be tricking me. William Council is here. Mario Alvarez says, I always look at the shoutouts to make sure no one's in my area doing it. Good strategy. No competition so far, so you better get on that quick before someone else takes that spot. Lucy is shouting out the Lopez family. I'm just starring comments. What else? Who else we got? Robert Dietz. I think I'm saying it right. Dietz in Central Point, Oregon. All the way up in Oregon. There's a couple Oregoners. Nice job, guys. I would have shout out the wife, but I didn't catch her name. Great job with the St. Patty's Day themed card. Thinking ahead. Great job on it. 10,000 piece. 9x12. Actually, I think we just shipped that one out. Thomas Shadowan, who we are prepping right now. Right, his is actually being prepped as we speak. In Tombstone, Arizona. I don't know if he's live right now, but he said he's 70-something years old, and he said he was like a wood maker. He made a lot of stuff for Renaissance fairs. That was his thing. And this is like something that keeps him busy and keeps the income coming in. So that's very cool. Of all ages. We've got people from 16 to in their 70s and all in between here. Oh, that's got a look at that. You know you're out in the Southwest or something when you see those cowboy hats. It's so weird to me because no one wears a cowboy hat here. I don't think I've ever seen someone wear a cowboy hat, but it's normal over there. Got the cowboy hat on there. The Mailbox Marketplace. Very neat. Very cool. I haven't seen that name before. Got the street tacos. I've been driving down to Arizona for those. Got the El Pastor. Jason and Angela Hosani. I think it's Hosney. It's probably Hosney. I would say it's Hosney. In Aberdeen, Washington with the Harbor Spotlight. Great looking card. Great job. I didn't get a picture of Angela, but she's there somewhere. Nice job, guys. The Mega Chuckle says, I'm late, but I'm here from Tyler, Texas. We just had an Austin, Texas shout out. I think only one in Texas this week. I think. And we got Mark Lucero, who's just went out. Brighton, Colorado. Nice job, guys. Mark and family. I think that might be the last one of this week that I got at least pictures from people. There were a lot more, but we couldn't get the pictures from people. Yeah, that's all of them. That's all of them this week. So I'm waiting for you watching this to be the next one. Come on, guys. Cowboy hats mostly serve as country costumes. No, they really wear them, don't they? Oh, here. Yeah. Yeah, I know. You don't see that. They do. They look really cool. I wish that was something here. Great job, everyone. Okay, Brian asked, when's your next podcast interview? I have 2 that I recorded. I've really got to get them finished edited because they're really old. I haven't scheduled more until I get those out. But I have a lot of regular videos that I need to put out. I really need to put them out. I'm hoping with this new secretary that I'm hiring will free me up enough to get off some admin tasks that I've had to cover the past few weeks, and that will free me up for getting back on the video train. Renea is here. Great to see you. Hoosier says, without a large team, 1 or 2 people can handle maybe 5 to 6 cars would be really hard for 1 or 2 people. You'd need more people to do that. Let's talk about taxes, okay? And I want you guys to help too, James Burns. Okay, so we're going to talk about the important tax stuff, deductions, taxes, things that it sucks being a business owner and dealing with things like taxes. But I want to share with you the tax strategies and tips that you might not know about that will be helpful for you to pay less taxes or just be aware of things and do your own research. I'm not a tax professional. I'm not a tax lawyer. I'm not a tax attorney. I am just sharing with you the things that I know about, maybe some things that I do in practice for my own business that no one ever told me about, and you should look into these too for your business. Ultimately, we are business owners. No matter what small business you're running, even if you're just doing this as a side hobby, a side hustle, you are in business. And with that comes taxes. And the more money you start making, the more you have to really, really think about taxes, because you don't want to pay too many taxes. You don't want to pay more taxes than you should, and you don't want to get yourself in a tax problem. I restate many times that I at one point owed $100,000 in tax, and I had an IRS or New York State agent knocking on my door. So that's not a position you want to be in. I never thought I'd be in that position. I had my license suspended. My license was suspended. I was on a list of like all these mafia people and stuff at one point because in New York State, if you owed too much tax, they suspended your license. And I got on that list, and there was only like so many people. I was like, oh my God, I got to get off this list. And I ended up getting it all paid off, all worked out. I learned a lot, but I don't want you to get in these kind of problems. Dylan says, Dylan works for the IRS. Should turn this off. We'll be working for the IRS coming after me. My taxes are great now. I do everything above board, and it's like a game. It's literally like a game. The more money you make, the more you've got to figure out that game of taxes. It's not just business too. You're gonna have to figure out these things in life and investments and what to do with your money. It becomes a whole other issue when you start having money and what to do with it. You want that money working for you. You want to pay as minimal tax. It's a game. It's not fun. Still trying to do my first car. Been a few months trying, man. Stay on that motivation. But there's something you're missing. You just got to go out there and talk to business owners. It's that easy. There's no reason you can't be on that shout out, Dylan. I got to see you on this shout out. Tax season, best time to talk about, right? I get a lot of people asking tax questions. So this is good. There's not a lot of good sources where people can go and hear like small business tax help things. So I'm hoping this will really help you guys. Hoosier says I'm using the Profit First system for 3 months that's the Profit First. That was a book, and it's a system of making sure you're paying yourself, I believe. Until I get my life back on track, makes a lot of things easier with 5 bank accounts. I think that's similar to like the bucket system, and you have things in different buckets. You have the money that's profit, money that's this, money that's this. Whatever organizational tool helps, that is great. If it works for you, we all use different systems. Different things resonate. I think that's a very popular system and could be very helpful. Taxation is theft, Dorn says. Yeah, I hate taxes. I hate them. Profit First, Hoosier says, is a great book. Tax Reduction Institute. I do think, and this may be conflicting with Profit First, but I think if you're if you're really if you really want to grow a business and make it your income, you do have to sacrifice profit. I would not be personally, I would never be taking profit out of a startup business, because it would be cutting your business's throat. It would be, that's money that you could be putting directly back into the business to make more money. If you're doing this as a side hustle and you are just looking to supplement your income, you're not doing this to job replace, then that's fine. Take the money, take profit, continue to do the hustle, take profit, and maybe things will change down the road and you'll replace your job income. But if you're trying to grow a real business and make that your sole thing of income, then you really should be you should not be taking any profit. That money should go right back into the business continuously until probably a couple years down the road, where you're piling up excess cash and you literally have to start paying yourself because you don't have more equipment or more things to buy. Things plateau a little bit. That's my thoughts. I feel very strongly about those. But if you're just looking to make a side income, this is great. Make the side income, take the profit. I have a little, how do I get this thing out of here? I have a little presentation. I just threw together, if I can find it, I just threw together some advice. Okay. Not advice. I'm not giving you tax advice. You need to check all this stuff over. I'm just sharing some things to think about that you may not be aware of as a business owner. Essentials would be to separate your business, have a separate business checking. Even if you are doing this as a hobby, even if you are just venturing out into some business venture and you don't think it's that serious, it's serious. It's business. Business is serious. Make a separate business account. Even though for reporting purposes, if you're just a sole proprietor, your money is all, it's all, you and your business are the same. They're exactly the same. You could technically run your business out of your personal savings. You could use your personal debit card to make business account expenses, but it starts getting mixed in, and that's not good. You don't want to have it mixed in. You want to separate those. And if you become like an LLC or an S Corp, you really have to do those, because you could lose your protection. You could lose your liability protection. Whereas if something went south, you don't want your personal assets being taken too. So if you've mixed personal and business, that could put yourself at liability if something went wrong. So get in the habit of separating those two. Just a free business account. You don't have to pay any money on a business. Get a free business checking and keep those expenses separately. You have to get an EIN. That's free. You can get that on the IRS website in like 5 minutes. But you need that. That's like your business's social security number. It helps make this separate identity. If you go corporation-wise, you may at some point be making a truly separate entity where it's completely independent from you. Or like my business structure, one of my business structures is S Corp, where we're just employees, okay? Or corporation. I'm just an employee of this company. Bookkeeping system is very helpful. You've got to have some system of tracking these your books, your expenses, your incomes. That could be a Google Sheet. It could be a QuickBooks Online. It could be Wave or any of these. There's a lot. I use QuickBooks Online. A lot of people hate QuickBooks. It's fine. It's just, they all do the same thing. They track expenses. You're going to need some kind of system of tracking expenses and incomes. ChatGPT, I think, is an essential. You can ask ChatGPT almost anything, and it'll give you, for the most part, pretty good advice. You could ask it and say, hey, I live in this state, in this county. Do I need to do this? What can I do to save money? Should I be taking this deduction? Am I allowed to take this deduction? And you'll get actually really good answers. So I would say that is an essential. Don't pierce the veil. Oh, Clint Anthony is here. Same Clint Anthony on the 9x12. I shouted you out earlier. If you didn't see that, let me know. I'll throw it up again. Johnny Clark says, I've got an LLC for my e-com business. Can that include? Yeah, I'm not a business pro, so I'm not qualified to answer that, but I would say yes. You could do business, but you open yourself into liability if something went wrong with the mailing business, or something went wrong with your e-com business. Your mailing business could then be at stake. So it may make sense to just create another one, or just do a DBA for the time being, which would keep it separate. You could have a different name or open a DBA under this LLC and do business as that, so that you're not invoicing people for some weird e-com name when it's really for the mailers. So you have a few different options, but ultimately it would not probably be the best advice, because you'd be taking on the liability of two things, where one, if something went wrong, could affect the other. For just starting out, for simplicity, yeah, you could probably just do that and keep one set of books, one set of tax documents, and one set of tax prep, versus having two sets of them, which would increase the cost. But I would say if your business is making money, you got a successful card, I would separate that business personally. That would be what I would do. But don't let that stop you. Don't spend a year planning your new LLC for a business you haven't even made money on. Hi, Sarah Hinderlifter. Thanks for joining. I'm homeless and the car just broke down. Profit first. That's fine. Profit first. 9x12 is zero startup costs. Selling print, make some money. It just stifles you by not being able to reinvest it back into the business. But it's really totally fine for taking money, right? You want to go on the vacation, you want to get a house, get some rent money in there. That's perfect. If you become an affiliate with HoneyBook, they'll give you a free account. Christian Real Estate Solutions asks, which is the best for taking credit cards, Stripe or Square? I like Square. I don't even know if Stripe has a reader. So Square has, or they might, but Square has a reader. It's really streamlined. It's very simple. It's very simple to send invoices over email. For Stripe, it's a little more complicated. You got to make these links, and I would go Square. I don't think you need Stripe. I would go Square personally. Lars says the Augusta rule. Yeah, the Augusta rule is great. You can rent. I didn't mention on that, but that is a good tax strategy. You can rent your home to your business for 10 days tax free. That means you can the Augusta rule is like where you can hold a meeting in your house. The only thing is I don't know if that conflicts with the home office deduction. I'm not sure. If you're already deducting a home office deduction, you may not be able to take Augusta rule. I'm not sure. But since let's say I didn't have home office, I'm at right now I'm at my physical location, and I wanted to I had a meeting at my house or something. You could rent it. You can rent a lot of things. You can rent equipment to your business. You own a computer, you can rent the equipment to your business and now take that as an expense. The only thing is you also have to show that as an income to your personal self. But there's many things you can do to rent equipment and stuff from your own self. Hello, High Response Marketing Team. Mark says, hello, Mark P. Next one. Deduct everything possible. You guys can see this, right? I hope. Yeah, you can see my little graphics. Just deduct. Okay, deduct. If you have a tax account, or you have a tax accountant or a tax prep, or bookkeeper or anything, they should keep you in line too. But you deduct. You're using something for business, deduct it. At least track it. Keep the receipt. Take a picture. The IRS allows digital receipts. Pens, pencils, furniture, equipment, driving, anything. A calendar. You buy a calendar and you put it on the wall. That's a business expense. It's like having a business is great. Like you're around the house, you're buying a lot of these things regularly. Now you can deduct them. You can deduct that. The big point I want to make on this text is that itemizing is different than separating your business expenses. So many business owners think I can't deduct stuff because I take the standard deduction. I don't itemize. I don't make enough money to itemize. Because they think, I thought this too, going way back. I didn't think I could take the standard deduction because I had to itemize. And in the very beginning, I thought I couldn't itemize anything because it wasn't enough. Like the standard deductions, like $25,000 or whatever it is. I'm not deducting $25,000 worth of stuff. I never thought I could itemize. And I learned that I actually because I didn't pay attention, like the tax preparer did it all. Then I eventually found out. So many of you probably don't know this. Itemizing is totally separate. It's Schedule C. It's self-employment income. You can itemize your business expenses while taking the standard deduction. It's not one or the other. Itemized deduction and the business expenses are two separate things. Now, I'm not a tax pro, so consult ChatGPT and consult an attorney. But I'm just letting you know those are separate things. So you better be deducting stuff. I don't want to catch you not deducting anything. I got a friend, her husband's a painter, and she's like, "Yeah, we got to start deducting. He doesn't deduct anything." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "I got all these receipts for paints and stuff. He's a full-time painter. Like, he's not deducting anything. You got to deduct that stuff." What else? Home office deduction. It's $5. I believe it's $5 per square foot up to 300 square feet. I mean, you could be deducting, $500, $750, $1,000, $1,500, however much space you're using. Deduct it. Okay, you got a home office now. But I would say make it into a real home office. Get a desk, a little computer. Rent your computer to your business. Rent it out to yourself. Get a desk. Deduct it. I'm always told that it's a flag. Home office deduction is a flag for IRS audits. I don't know. Talk to a tax pro. But if you are legitimately doing something, don't feel like you have to be scared to deduct. These are legitimate deductions. Deduct. Oh, Clint. Well, I'll shout you out after, Clint. I already did, but I'll do it again. Ooh, Joshua Polche said, "I quit my job yesterday to do this full time." Wow. Yeah, the time. I always just say, I can tell the movement that you've got going on. I'm like, this guy is going to be full-time 9x12 postcard marketing anytime. Once you tap into that print sales too, you're going to be taken off. Joshua's going to be a huge star, 100%. That's amazing. Just quit his job yesterday to do it full-time. Oh, that's amazing. I'm so happy to hear that. Equipment. You better be deducting any equipment. Okay, and there's a relatively new rule. You used to have to depreciate everything, but now you can totally take 100% deduction on like up to like 150,000 worth of stuff. Or it's some crazy astronomical amount. You can choose to take a whole deduction. You used to not be able to do that. Now you can. Tax attorney will tell you, or ChatGPT. But stuff you're not even think anything that's related to business. If you're using it for business, deduct it. Take that deduction. Wall art, you got the art up on the home office. That's a deduction. Machine, you buy some little piece of equipment. You buy a paper cutter. You buy a paper shredder. You buy a printer for your home. It's deductible. You got a TV. You watch Netflix while you're working, that you might be able to deduct that. Spotify, all those things that you might be doing normally can potentially become business deductions. That's why many wealthy people and smarter people, savvy business people, start businesses even though they don't own a business, right? They have holding companies and they have management LLCs, and it's just to get these deductions and these loopholes. The QBI deduction. Don't ask me what that stands for. I just know it as the QBI. Talk to a CPA, because I am not a CPA pro, but I know you get 20%. You get 20%. I believe it affects pass-through entities. So if you're like a C corp, if you're a C corp, you don't even need to listen to this stuff. You're probably doing something really fancy. But you get like 20% deduction, okay? And if your income gets too high, I think it's 149,000 if I'm right. If it starts getting too high, you can shift income around. That's an IRS approved strategy, shifting income. You can hire more people and shift the income around. About the loophole it all. Get that 20%. Sean Trising says, should I do a DBA? Yes, you have to do the DBA first. Then you get the EIN. Go get the DBA, and then you file the EIN, which takes 5 minutes. This is technically a meeting. It's I'm renting it from you. You didn't know that, but I'm just taking this massive deduction. Renting all of this from you guys. This is a major deduction. I'm charging every single one of you to rent. Deduct mileage, Lars says. That's an excellent one. I don't even think I put that on there. I meant to. Deduct that mileage. You better deduct. It's you'll be making so much money on your mileage. Wait, I'll talk about this in a second, because it'll coincide with another thing. Joshua says, thanks for the ChatGPT tip. Yeah. You got a pro tax advisor right now. Will it give you concrete, perfect tax? No, but it will answer your questions very solidly, and it'll give you citations and references. Write down a sales tax. If a lot of you guys 9x12ers wondering if you got to charge sales tax, just say, hey, I live in Ohio. Do I need to charge sales tax on 9x12 postcard ad spaces? And it will tell you. Hire your kids. Income shifting strategy. Hire them kids. If you got an LLC, you can pay them. I don't know if you could do it with sole proprietorship. I would assume single. I would assume, but you got to check. But LLC, no payroll. You don't got to set up payroll. You can have your kids under 18. They got to be of legal working age. In New York State, I think it's 14. It's probably different in different states, with the exception of like farm labor and stuff. But it's in New York State, at least it's 14. Hire your kids. You got them doing tasks. You got them doing something. Pay them, and you can pay them with a check or Zelle. But anyway, pay. I would do a recorded payment because if you ever were to get scrutinized, you really want this to be a record, good record keeping. That's good business. Pay them up to the standard deduction, where $14,000, I think. Yeah, $14,000. You don't got to pay them any income tax. There's no income tax. They're exempt from FICA and Social Security. They're exempt from all that because they're not 18. And there's no income taxes. They're not going to owe any. They're going to be making less than $14,000. There's no income tax. So no income tax, just a straight check. It's amazing. Because if you normally hire people, you have to either 1099 them, it's sketchy. It's real sketchy. Or you got to payroll them, put them on payroll. Now you got payroll and admin fees and Social Security and all those things that you got to take out. You got to do that with kids. Put your kids on the books. Get something back from them kids, little jerks. Giving space away. I talk with CPA, but someone talked about this recently. I actually have an interview. You could potentially, if you give spaces away, that could be a potentially. I don't know the ins and outs of that. Someone super tax pro might know this. ChatGPT might know this too. Giving space away. You're giving something away. You may be able to take a deduction for that. I'm not sure, but it hopefully gets the juices flowing of things that you can do. Strategically take vacations. Strategically. Now, this is going to come off as sounding like I'm telling you to defraud something. I'm not. I'm stupid, but I'm not that stupid. You just have to be strategic about it. That means, you want to go on vacation, or you're going on a family vacation? Okay, well, why don't, while you're doing that, you do some business? Maybe you research new locations. Maybe you have a Zoom meeting. I don't know. You're going to have to go looking into that. And you may only be able to deduct part of it. You may, if you're stopping along the way and you're picking up supplies, or you're meeting with a client or some prospects, if it is properly documented and you are doing business activities, you may be able to deduct all or part of that vacation trip in many different ways, whether it's a mileage or events or whatever. The hotel, if you're having some kind of thing happening at the hotel, you may be able to deduct that whole hotel thing, because you could look at it technically like you are planning a business trip and it's these reasons, and while you're there you will be doing personal activities too. So if it's properly documented and you have a legitimate business reason, you can be totally strategic about that and get some of this nice tax deductions while having fun with your family. S Corp, this is a big game changer for me. S Corp is amazing. I know some of you are going to say, well, I'm an LLC and I treat it as an S Corp. That's great too. But I'll tell you the big reason that I became an S Corp was because of my tax, because I owed so much in taxes way back. And I didn't want to be responsible for that, because I couldn't. I wasn't responsible enough to get all this money. And then, fortunately, I've always been successful in business. I'm not that I haven't had ups and downs and been almost broke many times over, but I've always been able to make money. Like, making the money has always happened. So as a result of that, I owe taxes, and I wasn't exact. I started young, so you're getting all this money and you're not saving it for tax. It's the last thing you're going to do with checks of thousands of dollars. Instead, you spend it on stupid stuff. You don't set it aside. And all of a sudden, you have a huge tag. Then you don't pay your taxes. And you have 25% penalties and ongoing and all these things. And all of a sudden, your $25,000 turns into $100,000. That can happen very quickly. When you're self-employed and you're responsible for keeping that, doing quarterly taxes and planning Like, this is almost like a full-time job itself. So you're not that good at it. So for me, a huge reason, the main reason I became an S Corp was because I wanted to payroll myself. I did not want to get me or my wife in trouble or in these positions again. I want to get a check and have taxes taken out. And going S Corp, corporation, specifically S Corp, that's passed through, you are your own employee. You are an employee of your company. So you get paid as an employee. That means a paycheck, Social Security, FICA, all those things get taken out. Unemployment insurance, workers' comp, and the taxes get automatically taken out. Now, if you use a payroll service like Gusto, I really love Gusto. I super recommend Gusto. I've been with them for 14 years now. No, 10, 11 years. They used to be called Zen Payroll. It's automatically taken out. Some accountants, if you use like a local accountant, they won't always take the money out. They'll just tell you how much you need to set aside, and then every quarter they ask for the money to send in. I would prefer using a payroll service, suggest using a payroll service that takes the money out. So you get a check. You pay yourself a check and the taxes are taken out. That is a big thing for people like me who aren't the best at saving that money aside. I can make the money, but I'm not the best at keeping that money aside. I want that money out of my vision, so it's out for taxes. Once you start making a lot of money, you get another benefit of the S Corp, which is if you're paying yourself and then you're making even more money, you got excess cash and you can distribution it. You take it as a distribution. You just write yourself a check, distribute it. And that money isn't affected by self-employment tax. You're going to still owe income tax later on in the year, but you don't have to pay self-employment tax that you would if you were an LLC or a sole proprietor. So you actually save about 7-something%. It's a very good tax strategy. If you start making money, like I would say in the range of like $30,000 to $50,000 a year, you're almost always going to want to go S Corp or an LLC treated as an S Corp. If you're already an LLC, you can elect to be treated as an S Corp and get the same benefit, where you can now distribute money to yourself without paying self-employment tax. It saves you about 7-something%. Talk to an accountant. But not everyone knows this. My really good friend who is very successful in business and having record years has a ton of money and came to me and said, what do you do? He goes, I know you got a bunch of money at the end of the year. I don't want to pay all this tax. I got nothing else to buy because I don't have any equipment to buy. I bought everything. And I said, why aren't you? I said, crap. I said, are you still an LLC? And he's like, I go, you got to go S Corp. This guy is a really smart business person. He's great. But this whole time, his tax accountant never told him to go S Corp. Never told him. I had to tell him. This is a business owner with a CPA and tax, and has been in business 10 plus since 2010. Long as I have. We kind of grew up in our separate businesses together. Never knew. Now he's set up as the S Corp, and now I can take that money out, and now I have to pay so much. This translates to a lot of money that you don't have to pay the government. So S Corp, very nice when you start making money. Cash back. I'm going to look at comments in a second. I hope you guys are learning a lot. Let me know if you are. I didn't hit that thing right. Okay. Hopefully everyone can hear me. Cash back. Get in the habit of doing this now, but as you start expending, you can make a lot of money smartly. It gets you into good habits of putting your money to work. Use the cash back bonus. Open up a business credit card. You could open up a personal credit card that might have cash back and use it for business as long as you separate it. Just make sure that one is for business. Use that cash back. Get all the cash, every expense you make. Get a little cash back on it. As you get even more money, which is what I do, I get all the cash back I can. I put every single expense on credit cards with the highest cash back. I jam them full, and then I wait as long as I can to pay them. Now, I actually put more, I have to, it's going to sound crazy, but I have to pay my credit cards almost every day, okay? I rack up such a tremendous amount. I have to pay them almost every day because I rack them up so fast. Just in postage and shipping, I rack up so much money that I have to pay them off almost every day. Now my credit limits have gotten bigger and bigger and bigger, so I'm able to hopefully soon wait a little bit longer. But what you want to do is wait as long as you can to pay that off, because you can stick that cash into a high yield savings account where you're getting the cash back. You're not getting any interest on the credit card because you're waiting the month. Just a month. I'm not saying months, because you don't want to get socked with that 20% interest. That will defeat the whole purpose. But you want to wait till the end, till it's due, and then pay it off so there's no interest. And that whole month or that whole 3 weeks or that whole 10 days or whatever has been sitting in a high yield business savings account where you're making interest on that, plus getting the cash back. This translates to thousands of dollars when you start making money a month. Making thousands of dollars. It could be tens at first. It could be tens, then it grows to hundreds, and then it can grow into thousands of dollars a month just in that strategy, just in cash back, and then picking the right cards. I would suggest, I'm going to look at these comments, but I would suggest for high yield savings account, I would suggest Live Oak. There might be some higher, but I'm not. Live Oak is great. Live Oak Bank is really great. There's not many. There's actually not that many business high yield savings accounts. There's not many. There's personal ones, but there's really not that many business ones. And you can get stuck with your local bank with like a money market account that pays like 0.1%. Like it's disgustingly low numbers. You want to get a true high yield savings account with no fees attached, with fast transfers. Even just stuffing your money into the high yield savings account and then taking it out as you need it. So it's not sitting in your bank accounts, not gaining any interest. It adds up to a lot of money. And if you get diligent with that starting out, once you start making money, this will just become a normal routine for you. So get that high yield savings account. I suggest Live Oak. And for credit cards, I would suggest Capital One Spark, which is a 2% cash back. Very good. Chase Inc. has two cards that are Chase Inc. Unlimited is 1.5%, and Chase Inc. Premier is 2.5% with 2.5% and 3%, I believe, if you do transactions over $5,000. So just some pro business tips here. Hope you guys are getting a lot out of this. I'm looking through comments right now. Robert Sales says 12 document envelopes, one for each month. Save every receipt for anything you buy. Yes, and stick them in there and give those to. Yes, this is an excellent strategy. We use a similar process. You have an envelope for that month and you just stuff everything into that month. Ours goes into a box and then goes into an envelope, but you have a bucket, a container, an envelope for that month. Everything goes in there. Then the next month. That is an outstanding tip. Dorn's unethical life pro. I'm just kidding, Dorn, but I know you get that kind of tax incorporating a tax advantage foreign country. That is beyond my scope of things. I don't know. I guess that is way too advanced for me. Paul White says I was where you are 6 months ago. Hoosier DJ says he's currently without a home making this work. Wow. Oh, that's incredible. Paul, that is amazing to hear. I didn't know that. I didn't know your backstory. We got to do a podcast then, don't we? I want to hear that story. Everyone's going to want to hear that story. Robert Sales says, I believe there's a one-time $5,000 deduction. My understanding is you can you are allowed up to $5,000 of startup costs as a business, which can involve like market research and stuff. And I'm not sure if you can just take, and if it goes over, you just have to, it like depreciates. You have to take it the next year, the rest. So if you did like 10,000, you'd take the 5,000 the next year, 5,000 this year. But I don't know if you can just straight up take $5,000 and just say I did all this stuff. I don't know how that works. But yes, you are allowed up to $5,000 in startup costs. I do know that. EDM Tools. My man Will Bradwell, who I will be shouting out on a video. Don't worry. His Route Snip. If any of you, I'll give us a little shout out here. Will right here, who developed EDM Tools, has an incredible route snipping. It's called route snip. Well, that's what I think it's called. Route clip, something like that. But it's amazing. You download your EDM forms that you get when you pay EDM postage, and you just upload. It's drag and drop, and it automatically generates all the facing slips, numbers them, fills out everything, fills out the first form, makes exactly how many facing slips you need, and you literally just hit print. This is like 2 clicks. You upload, you download, and send it to print, and you suddenly have it all filled out and printed. Incredible. Will says his father-in-law is a tax accountant. First thing he did after he got married, set me up with an LLC. Yes. There's, we were talking about the kids, the income shifting. If you have an S corp, I shouldn't mention this. You can't put your kids on payroll. You have to legitimately put them on payroll, because in an S corp you have to have employees are employees. They'll have all this stuff taken out of them as an employee. But what you can do as an LLC, since you don't have to do that, is you can set up like a management, like a management company, and you can have the kids in that management company and then rent them. Like you can charge your S corp for the services of the management company, which the kids are doing the work, and now you can pay the kids without having to do the whole payroll thing. That's how you get around that. There's many things that you can do to get around certain problems. Sometimes things too go away. So there's like, there's tax advantage that a new president might put in, and then things expire. So these things change all the time also. Jeffrey Landon says, my gross was $300K. After itemized deductions, my gross was $10K. Yes. Welcome to the 2% or whatever. getting them tax deductions down. Keep going, Ryan. He says, okay. I know some of these comments might have been a little bit ago. I'm going through them. That's great that Hoosier sees that Paul's in the same spot he was. Hoosier wants to go in the East Taiwan. One card probably gets you a mansion over there. Lucy says, make sure that everywhere you go, you are logging your miles. We keep our business address close by, as your first trip out, last trip out doesn't count. So get a private mailbox close by. Yeah, there's many ways to make sure you're getting that deduction. So you could, because you don't get the mileage deduction when you're commuting, like regular commuter miles, back and forth to like an office. But you do if you're stopping to do business. If I stop at the post office on my way home, if I stop at the bank to deposit a check, that is now a business trip. So I've just made, $10 or something going home. It's like 75 cents a mile or something. I mean, it adds up quick by stopping somewhere on the way, Even food thing like meetings and meals can be tax deductible if you're doing legitimate business work, or you're taking a client out, or you're discussing, you're having an official business meeting or a company dinner. Like all those things are deductible. Earl says, check with the tax pro while using home office deduction. It may affect how your mortgage deduction amount is valued. That is this is why you have to check with pros, because that may affect your mortgage. You're deducting your mortgage. That is excellent advice and excellent insight. Ed says, make sure you write off enough to show a loss to offset ordinary income. I've never had to take a loss in my business, but I know a lot of people do, and that's a tax advantage status. I've personally never had to do that, so I don't know the ins and outs of it, but I know you can take a loss for so many years. You can take a loss. Erica McClellan says the income limits for the QBI deduction have increased. Okay, Erica seems to know what she's talking about, so let's make sure that we're put this on the right page. The income limits for the QBI deduction have increased slightly for 24. Which we're talking 20. Some people may say, well, this is 2025. Well, no, because we're still in 24's tax season. It hasn't been officially due yet. So many of you are still, especially business owners, may not have filed 24's taxes. Single filers must make $191,950 or less, and joint filers may make $383. Nice. And I do believe that you can shift income if needed. So if you were at 200,000, and you wouldn't get the QBI deduction. And I don't know if the QBI 20% is like I don't know if it works like tax brackets where you would get it, but you wouldn't get it on the upper amount. I'm not sure. You might know. But if it's, say you're going to be at 200,000 income and you don't get this tax deduction, this is why it's important to have your financials together and talk with a CPA or plan this stuff out and be ready for this stuff so that you know, okay, I might be hitting 200,000. Oh, this is going to look like I'm going to hit 210. What do I do? Because you don't want to be stuck at $200,000 a year and you don't get this 20% savings because you just went over it. That's where tax shifting income can come into play. You might not be able to do anything about it now, but if you had planned for this earlier in the year, you could say, crap, we need to get our kids working here. Little Jimmy's always doing, we need to write some checks to little Jimmy here. Okay, we need to get him doing something. And little Timmy and little Tommy and little Sandy, and get them all being paid so we can shift this income down so it's under 191 so I get this 20% tax income. That's why you got to stay on top of this stuff. Get them deductions. Les Mark says if you go from home to office, mileage is not deductible unless you make a business stop on the way. You're probably like, I just said this. Post office that you stopped and got the coffee containers for the business. You know, you got to think like, okay, I need some business supplies, right? I need some toilet bowl cleaners for the business. It's not looking so good. So you're like, okay, well, I'll stop at the store before I go home. But wait, while I'm at the store, I'll also do my grocery shopping too. So you turn these events legally, strategically into business events, and you get the mileage, and you get all the deductions. Jerry Rodriguez says, thanks for help on the design. Great. Actually, Megan must have helped because I sent that to her this morning and hopefully she got it. Doran says, hire your kids and pay them into a Roth IRA. That is an outstanding idea. A Roth IRA is one of the most critical things you can do. As any person, a Roth IRA is incredible. You basically can put money into, you can self-manage it. You can stick money into any investments you want. And it's tax-free because it's post-tax. So say you take, you can do up to $7,000 a year per person. So you can put $500, $200, and it sits there. You already pay tax on it. So in a Roth IRA, when you're 59 and a half or however long it is, you can cash out, and it's taxed. All those gains over all those years are tax-free. Max those Roth IRAs out. Max them out. And if you make more money than the thing, you do this thing called a backdoor Roth, where you put it. It's you don't got to worry about that, but you convert a thing into a Roth. You have to do a backdoor, and then you could do a mega back. You can even do a mega backdoor Roth. But imagine you stick $1,000 into your kid's Roth IRA, and they're 14. And then when they're 50, that thing is like $5 million. You know, and you stick it into like QQQM or something, or VOOG, something with some crazy volatility. And don't let them get a hold of that thing. Oh, another Utah in. We didn't have any new Utahs today. Judy +6 says, I like using Grok over ChatGPT. Grok uses real-time and updated information. Ooh, that's very nice to know. Look at them Elon haters going here. I'm not going to use it because it's got Elon Musk on it. That's really good to know. LeVar says, I'm going to need a PDF with it. This is all this to watch the live stream. Like, I always think, like, this is stuff that I wish I knew. I really wish that I knew this. I think there's only one more. Oh, bad debt. I got a couple more. Bad debt. If you got bad debt on the books, you know, there's some processes you have to do. You have to really attempt to collect it and stuff. Read up on that. But you got to that's a deduction. If you sold a space to someone, if you sold value to someone and they didn't pay, you took a loss. That's bad debt. Wipe that thing off. Uncollect. Take the loss. Get that tax deduction. High yield savings account, you should just have I recommend Live Oak, but you could use any. Capital One is a good one. There's not many, though. Not many high yield savings for businesses. Not many. Get one, though, because you want that money sitting in there doing something. This is the last one, 401k. This is a very powerful strategy as you start making money I don't know if you could do an LLC. I don't think so, but I could be wrong. But if you're S corp or you got payroll, set up an company 401k, and even if it's just you and your partner, you know, or set the thing to only employees with a year thing or something. You be greedy and set this thing up so it's 100% match. I do my 401k 100% match. My employees all get 100% match, 100% match, up to 6% income, 100% 401k match. That means your company will match 100% of what someone puts in their 401k that gets automatically deducted out of their check. So now that's a deduction for your company, and you get that free 100% money into your personal 401k. So every time, so we max our 401ks out. I'm maxing this thing out. She's maxing this thing out. I'm going to 100% up to 6% from the company, and that's that goes to 401k compounds, and the company takes that as a deduction. So that's a great thing. You pay yourself the 401k 100% match. Deducto. What's these comments? Oh, EDM tools. Will Brad switch to Gusto? Oh, I was a paycheckser. Man, I spent so much money on that crap. Gusto was life changing. Life changing. Robert D says thanks for being so fast with the card. They will be getting to you very quick. Fort Wayne, Indiana. Did Casey Mullins? I think we had. Did we have a Fort? No, that was Fort Worth, Florida. That's how my econ biz is. LLC tax as an S corp. Don't have to pay much self-employment taxes. Nice. Clint Anthony says this is great info. You know, the best info are always the lowest turnout. 95 people. I'll have 300 people, 200 something people on here with on the dumbest topic, you know, on make money, which is fine. I'm not, but then you give someone real, like, powerful, super powerful crickets, you know, there's like 5 people. Phil is here. Nice to see you, Phil. Mystical Dragonfly says pay off before the charging period ends, not the due date. You're right. I remember saying that and slipping up. No, you want to pay that before, because you don't want that balance reported. I do believe it's been so long since I've paid a credit card on the due date that I don't remember. But I think you have a grace period as far as tax percentage goes. I think as long as it's due, you don't pay. I don't know. I could be wrong in that, because I pay them all off before. But you don't want that balance reported either on your account. So you want to pay these things off before they're even due. Very good habit in making that money. Omar Santos is on his lunch and had to jump on. Hey, Omar. You missed some great shout-outs earlier, too. I'll throw them up again a little bit. Will says, you're describing my family's fish farm business. Capital One Spark, Chase Inc., Gusto. Yeah. Oh, Live Oak is great. Go for it. I'm not an affiliate or anything. Live Oak Bank. Amazing. Their high yield savings rates are top notch, and their personal savings is great. It's even higher. The business one, it varies with the federal rate or something. I think it's like 3.6 right now, but the personal is like 4 point something. It'll go up to like 5 sometimes and stuff. It's great. You can switch between the two, and I have it connected to my other bank. You know, I have a different bank account for my business operations, which is local, and then I have it connected. It transfers in a day. I can transfer $100,000 in one day. It'll be there tomorrow and transfer it back. It's great. Live Oak is great. Yeah, Live Oak, Gusto, Capital One, Spark, Chase Inc. The Premier one is great cash back. The Business Cash Unlimited is great for points and cash back. Calgary, Canada, Todd is from. Lucy says the Nomad Capitals on YouTube has great content for rich folks. Oh, that's very good. I'll have to check that out. That's very good. That is very, very good. What about using a credit union? I'm all for credit unions, but I don't think they're going to offer you. Check it out, but I don't think they're going to offer you a cash back. You know, you're not going to get like that kind of. Chase and Capital One really, like, it's almost impossible to beat that. And when you're making money and you're using a strategic, you really want to make as much as you can. And I'm not saying not to support I have an personal account at a credit union, because my friend works there. But I wouldn't put my business money in there because I wouldn't be making any money. They might have some weird money market thing that you barely make any money at all. Max says he needs to do that. Clint Anthony says QuickBooks offers a 3% account. Is Live Oak higher? Yeah, Live Oak is higher. I would go Live Oak. It's higher. Great customer service too. They're very personal. You can call and actually talk to people. Live Oak I have nothing but good to say about Live Oak. I remember when I was first looking for the highest high yield savings accounts, I remember really doing a lot of research. And I remember, I think on Reddit, someone saying that the downside of Live Oak was that their transfers took like 5 days or something. And that was a big concern for me. And I kind of wrote off Live Oak at the time, but then I found out that was not true. It's like a 1 day transfer. You can transfer before 5 p.m. and it's there the next day, back and forth, even from different bank accounts, totally different bank accounts. Omar says he won on the last live stream with the emails I tried. It's ZOE at printingforsupercheap.com. I don't know. I need to make a graphic that shows that. I wish I could, or just email me and just say I won and it'll get there. I do have a Canva template, just getting it done. Ask if I have a Canva template for 9x12s. Please email me. Yes. And Hoosier said that too. Oh, it's Tiger said, sent you an email about the monitor splitting. Okay, great. Lucy says, if you're a real estate investor, you are constantly driving looking for signs, abandoned homes. Yeah, that could be a business expense, right? And that's why some people just become real estate investors. They get their real estate like to maybe be able to do these things, and get the tax advantage. Don't end up in the orange jumps. Don't be doing no crazy stuff. What's the link for ETM tools? Yeah, I should probably make a short link. He can put it in there. Will, you can drop it in there. You do investments inside the Roth. Yeah, the Roth is just it just allows you a tax advantaged account to not have to pay taxes when you take it out. It's very powerful. That money compounds and it's tax free. It's tax free. That means you put 1,000, you put 5,000 into this thing, and it will compound over years and years. It will compound. The power of compounding is so incredible. That money just compounds. So if you don't take the money out, if you put $1,000 and then that gets a 10% return, you got 1,100, and then that gets a 10% return, and that number just gets bigger and bigger. You don't see those returns when the numbers are small, but then it starts snowballing, and you have 300,000 in that account over whatever period, and then it's like the money just starts like, oh my God, like I just made this much, and then that turns into a bigger. Compounding is so powerful. It just takes a while to get that snowball going, but it starts getting big. And that money starts getting big. You want that money not being. See, 401ks, you get it compounds, and it's pre-tax. That means it came out of you before you paid the tax on it. So it's kind of easier on the checkbook on your paycheck. You don't notice as much because it wasn't taxed, but then you pay the tax later. The goal of it is to, when you're retired, you should be in a lower tax bracket, so you can then take the money out and be in a lower tax bracket. If you're like me, who doesn't ever plan on retiring, that isn't really that illustrious like a Roth is, but it's still you're getting the money compounding there without paying the tax on it, and you're getting that match from the company. Danielle is here with that shout out. I'll be shouting you out again. Don't worry. Taxes stress you out. Danielle, I am telling you, go back and watch this. Go back and watch this. I did a presentation too, so you'll be able to see the topics. Please watch this. Go back and watch this thing. Self-directed 401k. If you're crazy, you could, some of us are crazy and you can self-direct the 401k. Let me tell you the thing about the market, picking your own investments. Yeah, Paul, Will dropped that thing. tax. You can't. Timing the market beats. Time in the market beats timing the market. That's a classic saying. It's 100% true. You do not be trying to time the market and pick stocks that you think are. No one can predict them. No one. Even top pro investors cannot predict the market. Okay, no one can do it. Stick your money into something like VOO, okay, which tracks the S&P 500, and just leave it to those to the money to compile. Okay, don't be trying to buy individual stocks and buying this because you think it's gonna go up and you think it's gonna go. Oh, now it's low. Like, I would just stick it into VOO. I'm not an investment advisor. Do your own research, but do not be trying to do nothing crazy. You can lose a ton of money and you can make really bad decisions trust me. You can't time the market. Okay, you can't. Can't time the market. Don't be getting into options and futures and all this crazy stuff and short selling. Just VOO. Okay, VOO. Right now, maybe VXUS International, which is non-US International. Stick that thing in VOO or QQQM. I like QQQM too. A little bit more volatility. Hit that like button, someone said. Yes, Lars said hit the like button. Talk side hose. The stream is packed. Talk taxes stream is empty. I know. No one wants to hear that stuff, but it's important. Lucy says making money is a sexy topic. They need to know that tax knowledge is making money because it keeps it in your pocket instead of politicians' pockets. So true. This is so true. Oh, crap. Sarah just reminded me. Good thing I had my texts on. I gotta go. We have to meet with a freaking kitchen designer. I gotta meet with the kitchen designer at 3, and it's 2:38 right now. I gotta get going. Sarah, if you're watching this, I'm leaving in 1 second. I need to get out of here. Hopefully I answered everyone's question. I'm sorry I couldn't run more I forgot about that. I gotta meet with the interior designer or whatever for the kitchen. Sarah, I'm sorry that I didn't. This is Sarah Walson. I didn't send an email. Dorn says credit union ain't your friend any more than banks are. Credit unions are for the business, Erica says. Banks are for credit unions are for the people. Banks are for the business. That is probably so true. Capital One is good and easy. All right, I got to go. Kendrick, man, send me that picture so I can get the shout out on you next week. If you guys didn't see the shout outs, you should scroll back on the stream and watch them because there was a ton of really great people today. Oh man, I had all these comments. Sarah Walson says for a rule of 7, every 7 years your money should double. That's true. All right, I really gotta go. I can't like ditch this person. Danielle, I'm not sure if they're in the mail. I'm not sure. It's been very crazy. Probably. Man, I got all these questions and I'm like, I didn't get to them. I feel so bad. I've totally lost track of time here. Larger TV, split. No, yeah, but it wouldn't be as big. It wouldn't be as big of a TV as I need. Travis says, I have this set up and use the J5 Create USPA. He has this setup. That's why I want to hear someone who has the setup. All right, I gotta copy this comment or something. I gotta get this comment copied. Hopefully I remember that. Please, if Zoe or Jane or someone can just send me an email with this thing. I don't know the screens. Josh Smith said I don't know the screens. I don't know. But Travis had that set up. All right, I really got to go. I'm sorry. I'm trying to look through these things, and I might have missed some of this stuff. I got to go. I got to go. All right. I had a great time with you guys. Sorry I didn't run more contests. I would if I planned better. But I'm going to see you next week. I'm also going to try to do a later one, too. That might help people out. Do a later one. And send an email out so you guys know I'm going live. Thank you, guys. Hope you got some value out of this. I will see you next week.